Today, I'm going to show you 7 two-piece combinations that make people turn when you walk into any room. And the last one is so transformative that I deliberately saved it for the end. These tricks have nothing to do with spending more or wearing labels. They have to do with understanding what's behind a look that communicates presence. And the first one starts with a piece that almost everyone has in their wardrobe, but that almost nobody wears the right way. Trick 1. You know that feeling of standing in front of the mirror with two pieces you like separately, but that together seem flat? That's exactly where the first trick begins. You pair a well-cut white or ivory shirt with a midi skirt that has movement, satin, pleated, or flared. The shirt goes partially tucked in, or you mark the waist with a thin belt. Before, a loose, shapeless blouse with a tight knit skirt. After, a poplin white shirt, firm shoulders tucked into a wine-pleated midi skirt with nude pumps. The shirt creates firmness. The skirt brings lightness. When you walk, the skirt draws attention. When you stop, the shirt holds everything in place. There's one rule only. The shirt needs to have structure, and the skirt needs to have movement. If either one fails, the effect disappears. This is trick 1 of 7. The next ones rise in level, and the last is the one that most transforms a silhouette. Keep going. Trick 2. Some people look at a tank top and think, that's a house outfit. There's no way it can look elegant. It's exactly that myth that trips up those who don't know what stylists know. The right tank isn't just any tank. It's substantial, with wide straps, with a clean finish at the neckline, and seams. When you pair it with a high-waisted palazzo pant, the look seems expensive without seeming labored. Look at this combination. A firm-knit ivory tank, high-waisted chocolate palazzo, and nude pumps. Seems simple, right? But notice what happens when I take a step. The palazzo flows, creates presence, and because the tank is quiet in its place, the eye goes entirely to the silhouette. Long, sophisticated. This is the principle professionals use. The more volume below, the more the top needs to stay quiet. The palazzo is the protagonist. The tank is the perfect frame for it. What ruins everything? A thin or sheer tank, thin straps showing the bra, a dropping waist. The next trick changes how people read you before you even open your mouth. Trick 3. Have you ever walked into a room and before saying anything, someone had already seen you as someone important? That's the effect of the third trick, and it goes beyond looking well-dressed. This is 3 of 7, and what happens here is structural. Take a column dress, straight or slightly fitted, and put a precisely cut blazer on top. Open. Just that. A black column dress and a structured off-white blazer. Open, with nude pumps. The silhouette becomes long, continuous, organized. The detail most people miss. The blazer needs to end at a point that doesn't interrupt the line of the dress. When it falls in the right place, it doesn't cover. It frames. The shoulder gains definition, the body seems taller, and the combination conveys a presence that arrives before you do. The combinations that work best: an ivory dress with a camel blazer, navy with a wine blazer, chocolate with a light beige blazer. What undoes everything? A blazer tight in the arms, shoulders dropping, or two heavy fabrics competing for attention. This trick is powerful, but the best is still to come. In the next one, two opposite textures create something that seems expensive without any accessory. Trick 4. The blazer with column dress works through structure. This trick works through what happens when light touches the fabric. Think about this. You see a woman in straight black pants and a shirt. She looks put together, she looks correct, but she doesn't draw attention. Now imagine the same pants with a champagne fluid crepe shirt, slightly open at the neckline, carefully tucked at the waist. The fabric catches any light in the room and moves as she walks. This isn't a put-together look. This is a look that people stop to look at. This is the 4th of 7, and the shift from here is different. Look at this combination: straight chocolate-tailored pants with impeccable drape on the leg, and a champagne matte satin crepe shirt tucked in at the front, collar slightly open. A nude pointed toe mule. Notice how the look already seems elegant here, but the detail that closes everything is this. The pants are completely opaque. No shine, no texture, no movement. It's exactly that difference that makes the shirt seem so refined. One piece gives the light, the other sustains it. When the two play opposite roles, the result seems expensive without needing to explain why. Use one luminous fabric at a time. The second piece stays opaque, structured, firm. The next trick has no fluidity or texture contrast and still creates one of the strongest presences on this list. You'll understand when you see it. Trick 5. You saw how the silk shirt and the pants exchange energy. One shines, the other anchors. Now the reasoning shifts a bit because trick 5 doesn't depend on texture contrast or fluidity. It works differently. You know that moment when you walk into a room and someone asks where you were before, assuming it was something important, when in reality you just stepped out to handle something quick. This trick produces exactly that effect. And this is 5 of 7. The piece is the tailored vest paired with coordinating palazzo pants. Same color, or the same family. Ivory with ivory, chocolate with chocolate, beige vest with sand palazzo. Just wear the ivory tailored vest with the wide leg ivory palazzo and a nude mule flat. It already works. The silhouette is long, continuous, organized, but the detail that determines whether this looks planned or accidental is in the buttons. They cannot be pulling. The vest needs to rest on the body, not squeeze. When it squeezes, the entire reading collapses. The buttons open, the bust shows, and what was presence becomes visible discomfort. Stylists call this the coordinated column. The repetition of color eliminates any visual interruption, and the eye travels the entire body at once, from top to bottom, without pausing. It's a powerful combination, perhaps the most structured you've seen here. And still the next trick does something this one doesn't. It draws attention to your face before anyone notices the clothes. Before the next trick, let me tell you something. How many times have you opened a closet full of clothes and still thought, I have nothing to wear? The problem isn't a lack of clothes. It's that nobody ever taught you how to combine the pieces you already have. That's why I put together a guide with over 150 looks. Tested one by one, using only 15 pieces you probably already have at home. And the best part, you don't even need to think. Just choose the look, copy it piece by piece, and in 5 minutes, you're ready to go. The link is in the pinned comment and in the description. And if you're watching on TV, just point your phone at the QR code on the screen. Trick 6. There's a logic that seems to make sense when you're getting dressed. The more elaborate the neckline, the more presence the look gains. But it's exactly the opposite. The neckline that attracts the most attention is the one that seems not to be trying. The boat neck, that horizontal line that follows the collarbone, doesn't reveal. It frames, and it's precisely that framing that makes people look at your face before they look at the clothes. This is the 6th of 7, and it interests me greatly because it acts in a way that the previous tricks don't. It creates a visual hierarchy starting from the most noble point of the look, which is you. Look at this combination: a dense knit navy boatneck blouse, a straight white midi skirt with a small hem slit, and nude pumps. The combination, standing still, already has elegance. But notice what happens when entering a room. The gaze rises. The line of the neckline pulls attention upward, toward the décolletage, toward the posture. Only then does it descend to the skirt. This is the decisive detail. The straight skirt extends that reading. It doesn't compete. It maintains a clean line that guides the eye from top to bottom without interruption. Other combinations that work very well: an ivory blouse with a wine midi skirt, a rosé blouse with a chocolate skirt, a black blouse with a beige skirt. Always the same logic: a top that frames, a bottom that sustains. What ruins this look before it begins? A neckline too wide that slides off, a blouse too tight at the torso, or a skirt with unnecessary details at the hem. It's a powerful trick, but what comes now does the opposite of everything you've learned so far, and that's why it works in a way that hasn't appeared in this video yet. Trick 7, and we arrive at the 7th. This was the trick I mentioned at the beginning, when I said the last one would go against what anyone would expect. It's the one people ask about most when they ask me how to seem stylish without seeming like you're trying. The t-shirt, not just any t-shirt, a plain, substantial, precisely cut tee that fits perfectly at the shoulders and doesn't give in the fabric. No print, no deformed neckline, No sheerness, just the right piece, and beside it, a skirt with real presence. Look at this combination, a structured white tee, tucked in at the front, with a matte gold pleated midi skirt and nude pumps. The tee seems like almost nothing. The skirt stops the room. That's the point. Or an ivory tee with a chocolate leather midi skirt, slightly flared, and a caramel mule. Simple on top, sophisticated below. People look and can't quite name what's happening, but they know it works. What stylists understand about this resource is that the tee isn't being basic, it's being generous. It yields the lead to the skirt, and because of that, the skirt doesn't seem excessive, and the tee, alongside a piece like that, stops being everyday. It becomes a choice. The simpler the top, the more the skirt breathes. If you leave this video with one thing, let it be this. You don't need a complicated look to stop a room. You need two pieces that understand each other, one that sustains and one that speaks. Take the tricks that made the most sense to you, save this video, and start putting together looks with what you already have in your wardrobe. I want to know which combination you'll test first.